quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. Room here to run. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A gain of 37. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Now Goff on 1st down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
On 2nd and 2, Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield, and that is incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rush decisions or another turnover.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. He's airing it out for Williams. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because, remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for my guys, gets a smile on their faces, and gets them going to begin the second half.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 76 yards. And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
On 2nd down and 4, Cousins.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
They'll run for it. Cook.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Again, it's Cook. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Cousins.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Help me out, partner. Did they use up all their juice on second down when they got the sack? Because on third down, zero pressure, all the time in the world, and he picks up the first down with that throw.
The Cook getting the call there on first down as he works his way forward for a nice gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Second and 5 now. Cousins. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Flushed out right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota.
The kick by Joseph is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. He's airing it out for Williams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen. A complete...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first.